Hi everyone, let's talk makeup. And today I want to talk about traveling with makeup because I just got back last night from visiting my family for Christmas. And so I took this little bag. This is a Maui Beauty bag. It came with one of those like today's special values on QVC. I filled it up with makeup, and my goal this time around was really to be super minimalistic, to take just the bare essentials, almost nothing, because I was traveling with my two dogs and I was really stressed about it, and I didn't want to worry about, oh, my liquids, and are they 3 ounces or less, and having to take them out at security when I'm already going to be having to take out my dogs at security. So I just went super minimalistic. I did check a bag, so I did have some liquids, but it was all just super minimal. Okay, if you don't know and you've never traveled with dogs, it is quite stressful. My two dogs are wonderful, but one of them is a little bit reactive. If she sees another dog, she will bark. And she was actually a little bit of an anxious travel dog. So that's something we're going to have to deal with in the future. So you have to take them out at security. You put them in a carrier. I had carriers for them. Take them out at security and carry them through a metal detector. So that's why I didn't want to have to think about anything else as going through security, just keeping my dog safe. So minimal makeup. I do not check any of my makeup when I travel. I like to put it in my carry-on because some of this stuff is expensive. And imagine, like, say you're carrying, one of your really expensive palettes. There's always a chance that it's not going to arrive at this destination. It's going to arrive broken, or somebody will have taken it, and so I rather just not risk it. I put it in my carry-on. So I tend to then go towards palettes that kind of are more all-inclusive, that have maybe blush, highlight, maybe bronzer, have all of that, and give me a good variety of eyeshadows. So this year, the palette that I chose to travel with was the Smashbox Drawn In, Decked Out Shadow and Contour Blush Palette. I have a review of it in my channel, and this is what it looks like upside down. And so as you can see, it has a couple of blush options here. It has some contour and highlight, although the contour are not really ideal on my skin tone, but still it's there. And then it has a nice variety of colors. It has just some nice everyday colors, and it has a little bit of, these are the nice everyday colors, and then a little bit of color over here. So I thought that it would be nice that I would be able to do some nice holiday looks with it. And so this one I am very happy that I took because it's a very sturdy case that it comes in. Like, it's not hard, it's hard plastic, right? So it traveled very nicely. Nothing broke, nothing happened. All the dings in the palette that you see here or dings that I made to it beforehand. So it traveled really nicely. I do recommend this. Now, the only little bit of an issue with it is if you want to be like super colorful with it, it doesn't have all of that. So for like Christmas Eve, because my family celebrates Christmas for Christmas Eve, I kind of went with a really rather neutral look, way more neutral than I would have gone had I had my full collection with me. So that was the only kind of little bit of downside, but all in all, I really enjoyed the palette. But this is where my lessons learned come in. What I learned is that when I am with my family, and honestly, I hadn't seen my family in a full year. I'd seen some of them at different points during the year, but we hadn't all been together. Actually, we hadn't all been together in 2 years. But I hadn't seen my parents in a year. So I just didn't care. I just didn't care about makeup. And so if I could do things a little differently, I probably would have just left all my makeup at home, to be honest, or taken more with me, because I did not take any primer. I did not take an eye primer. I did not take a face primer. I was just like, screw it, I'll just deal with it. And I thought, I've sent my sisters and my mom plenty of makeup in the past. They should, if I desperately need something, they will have it. That is something though that I miss, because I'd forgotten, because I always use a primer and I use a cream base. Right now I'm working through the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is how far I am in it. And this helps my shadow stay on all day, and I'd forgotten that eyelids are super oily and that I need a primer and a cream base, because on Christmas Eve my shadows at the end of the night were looking muddy, did fade away. It's just, it happens with almost every single shadow I've ever tried. So if I could do one thing differently that I would add a cream base to what I packed. I did take a foundation. The foundation that I took was the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte foundation. Mine is in the color, where is it? 05 Bamboo. This is a really nice matte. It's not really matte. It's more of a satin foundation. It's medium coverage. It worked nicely. I do wish I had taken a matte powder and a little bit of primer. Again, I could have probably found that in my family's makeup stash, but I didn't want to deal with it too much. So this didn't cover up all of my acne scarring, for example, and when it came to taking up like close-up pictures, you could see my acne scarring. It's not that big of a deal because I've come to terms with my acne scarring. I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that. I just, for like the pictures, I would have probably liked something a little bit more full coverage. But that is a nice foundation. For other face products, I did take this IT Cosmetics Live Love Laugh Vitality Face Disc, and I wanted to take a contour, especially for Christmas Eve makeup. So this, I'm trying to rotate through my contour product. So this was up next in the rotation, and I want to take this because it has another blush option and highlight. Because the highlight in there doesn't quite work as a highlight for me. I like it better as a kind of brightening powder. But this worked really nicely. I did wear each of these items, and I thought it was a good option to take. The casing for it was also very nice. Nothing broke, nothing bad happened with it. So I did not take mascara. That I did steal from my siblings. I took, I had just sent my mom a ton of mascara, so I was able to just grab one of those and use. I did not take any liner because lately I haven't been liking using liner anyway. So I just used a brush, a fine brush, and added a little bit of a dark shadow on my upper lash line, and that worked well. In fact, I am wearing a dark shadow on my lash line today instead of liner. Eyebrow product. I did take one eyebrow product. I really wanted to stay away from like the creams and all that. So I went with an eyebrow pencil, and this is the Sephora waterproof retractable brow pencil in 04 Midnight Brown. And I'll give you a quick swatch of this. This is a really nice eyebrow pencil. I haven't been using it lately because it's just, I'm trying to use up a different product. But this is a really nice one. I like it a lot. And it worked really well. I did not take any eyebrow gel, and because of the gel consistency, I would have had to put it with liquids, and I was just like, nope, I'm not doing that. I kind of wish that I had, because my eyebrows were, they have a mind of their own sometimes. I didn't take any setting powder. Let's see, in terms of brushes, a lot of them are actually in my bathroom waiting to be washed, but I took a lot of double-ended brushes. This is where I know everybody bitches about the double-ended brushes that come in palettes sometimes. I love them because I just put them in my travel kind of area, and these are great for traveling because you get 2 in 1. So I just took a bunch of these. Didn't use a lot of them because I didn't really wear makeup more than a couple of times. So those were all the clean ones. For lipstick though, I could not go without lipstick. So I took the Besame Cosmetics Mini Lipstick Set because this gave me a few options here and gave me a couple of good reds for Christmas. So I primarily used the 2 reds. I used the Cherry Red and the Velvet Red from that collection. And I did use Dusty Rose as well. I actually planned on leaving Dusty Rose for like my mom or one of my sisters, and I don't know, it's still here, so I didn't give it to them. Oops. I hope they're not watching. I took a bunch of makeup samples as well. that I just left for my sister, who I am sure will enjoy it. So things that I would have done differently, again, I would have taken some eye primer and a cream base. I would have taken a more matte foundation and something glittery for my eye look. Or I should have just scrapped it all, no makeup whatsoever. If I really needed anything while there, I could have gone and bought it or borrowed it from one of my siblings. So that is it. I used to be somebody that traveled with a ton of makeup because you want to have options. You want to have more of your collection there, and when you're really into makeup, you start feeling almost naked without a bunch of your options. And I'm kind of over it when traveling. I think what changed for me was traveling with my dogs, that I'm so focused on them and making sure I have all that they are going to need when traveling, that the makeup just seems very secondary. And I really enjoyed the time with my family, like really a lot. So that was the main focus, and not so much the makeup. Now I'm back to makeup though. So that is it for me today. Let me know how you travel with your makeup, what you like to bring with you, what you don't like to bring with you, and maybe what you've learned in traveling with makeup. But again, it's it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.